that Julie find a problem in stock matching in Rust, and they find solutions. This is very important to cover all the needs and all the challenges that maybe any customer find it in the track and trace implementation.
Great.
Anyway, let's move to the next sessions. In serialization and aggregation showcase how the serialization aggregation can be more tailored to fit to the customer needs. Let's invite Mr. Rizwan. He's the founder and chief innovation officer of PHARMA TRAX. Mr. Rizwan, you're invited to speak, and please unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Thanks,
Hi.
Ahmad. Thanks, Ben and TraceHub community. I really appreciate and love the energy and patience. It has been actually more than a marathon, an ultra marathon, actually, something that goes beyond 60 kilometers. So, can you, my slide deck is visible?
Yes, yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so good evening, and I am actually talking from the future. For me, it's already 7th June. It's past midnight. Actually, I'm in Indonesia. I was traveling. So my greetings to you from this part of the world. So my name is Rizwan Buttar. I'm Chief Innovation Officer. I'm responsible for group-wide innovation-driven growth. And we have a startup studio within our larger diversified group. And PHARMA TRAX it started as a startup in a university incubator based in Islamabad, the capital of Pakistan. We follow a quad helix model of innovation. We try to discover talent very early on, and PHARMA TRAX is one of that example. We work under a quad helix model of innovation, working together with government, academia, industry, and especially in the COVID times, this strategy really helped build up a lot of technologies, products, alternates when the global supply chains were disrupted. So we have a focus area on mobile health, patient safety, universal healthcare coverage, and we also have a bit of a part in public policy and regulatory because we go through academia channel. So government typically, we work together with them to put together regulations or some, you can say, a bit of priorities. So I'll talk about in today's slide deck about serialization and aggregation equipment, and where the packaging line are one of the bases of what we are all talking about, trusted medicine supply chain. And the need arose because when Pakistan needed those products, Pakistan's regulator decided that in 6 months, we would not only start to put a barcode, we would also be able to serialize, we'll also be able to aggregate and full track and trace within 6 months. And there were 1,000 manufacturers at that point in time. And the whole world, the global equipment suppliers were busy to comply with the EU's Falsified Medicine Directive deadline. So no one was willing to even take an order. So that gave us an opportunity. We were doing a few solutions for pharmaceutical industry, and we started to develop things on. So as today's theme, you have rightly pointed out that benefits beyond compliance. So one more thing that I would like to add on based on our learnings was that let's think global and act local. So far we have been able to uniquely serialize and track and trace. Now it is in excess of 3 billion medicine packs. And this is parallel to regulator so timeline changed, got on delayed. In fact, I will talk about this week's update that was released on 2nd of June this week. So we started with a very small bespoke solution for L2, and then we upgraded to L3 and L4. So we kept on developing an MVP, a new product, beta release, and co-develop with the community. So when we think global, we try to do everything around standards. So whatever we develop in Pakistan, we can export it. We have interoperability and future scalability. And acting locally is the practical. In low and middle income countries, Pakistan, It's all about budgets. They need the lowest cost, they need the shortest time, and they need it yesterday. So considering that, we were able to kind of build a fast fashion brand or fast food brand of equipment, where we would be able to deliver in less than 4 weeks, bespoke, and meeting the budget requirements as well as delivery requirements and area. Especially in our country, what we have come across mostly is they do not have planned any space for serialization and aggregation. When the facilities were developed, there was no space developed for this. The space which was extra has already been used for some packaging operations, supervisory desks, so they hardly have any space. So that brought us to acting locally. So it all begins on the packaging line. That's what we have seen, because the outcome, the downstream operations, they all depend on the data integrity at this stage. So the flow is typically we print, we inspect. If it's good to go, otherwise we reject, aggregate, report, and verify. So in technology industry, in IT, we call it garbage in, garbage out. So if data at that stage is incorrect, does not has integrity, it's going to cause more trouble or adverse data decisions at the end. So weak packaging line at this stage would cause all the issues downstream: regulatory reporting, recall management, supply chain verification, patient safety. And if you use AI, so AI trained on bad data will deliver bad decision support. So benefits beyond regulatory compliance. In our country, we have seen one of the world's largest adverse drug event that happened in 2012 in Lahore. In the modern world history, it was the largest adverse drug event. So recall management was one of the major issue from the government perspective. Counterfeiting, yes, it's a huge issue. Another huge issue is corruption in the public procured drugs. So public procured medicines, when procured by the hundreds of millions of dollars, would end up back into the commercial supply chain. So it's government's funds that are not delivering the results. So that's another way to look at it. And then from commercial perspective, the commercial manufacturer, they have territory diversion. That's an issue they keep facing, and market access. So in Pakistan, we do not have a lot of export to the highly regulated SRA region, but we do have exports into Central Asia, Africa, a bit of Middle East, and these countries have started to bring in regulations, and in order to sustain their market access, that's one way that we are helping them comply. So GS1 standards, we use the global language. I skip through those slides because since the marathon, the warm-up has already happened, and we can skip through these. So a serialization must control product handling. Every product comes in different shapes and sizes. We have to cater to all of them. So the bespoke, the customization, the tailor-made ability that allows us to have the right product handling design, printing, coding, vision inspection. Rejection is accordingly product to product very different, and exception handling. So we can customize the solution for line speed, available space, which for us, for one customer, if he has ordered 20 lines, every one of that will have to do different line analysis. Everyone will have different size and dimensions and shape, because they're not flexible about allocating the space that we have designed the equipment on. So slight modification, and we are able to cater to them. Print quality, operator maturity. In some cases, in some regions, we have also in the visual interface, local languages support. We have developed training content in local language, so that after the training, if we are gone, they can understand, because for some regions, English can be an issue, or can be deterrence to them absorbing the knowledge and training. So I'll now move on to the serialization equipment that we make. So our solution did not came from offering enterprise solution. It was what we could do in the budget and in the space that was allowed. So one thing that we innovated was they somehow managed the space for serialization, but then they did not have space for aggregation. So we have innovated and developed a solution, we call it Aggregation. So it is an serialization and aggregation together in within the one footprint. We also have a separate station also, like the global model, but this is something that we did for locations for customers who somehow do not have any other option. So there is a short video. So this was a video on the entire suite that we have so far been able to develop. We're still improving. So serialization projects usually struggle with in our region, what we have seen is poor barcode print quality. And then after analyzing, we got to know that they haven't changed. They're not willing to change, or they're not willing to invest in a better paper. So there were some customers who were using recycled paper. It did not have good absorbency. It had varnished on it, and then after printing, they want to have the right result. So we guided on them. We worked together with the ink manufacturer to put together. There's the ISO standards on rubber print quality testing. So print quality has been an issue that we have in our region, challenging for us. Unstable carton movement. Because in some cases, if budget didn't allow, they were not willing to put together a top and bottom handling. And then the product was very low weight, and with high speed, it would not be stable. So it's a nice balance. I would say it's a right balance between budget and efficiency to have the acceptable quality control. On the higher ends, we can achieve almost everything. Training has been a huge issue, specifically international vendors who provided solutions through Pakistan. They were not sustainable. The language barrier, operators keep on changing their roles. They're not retainable. So we offer lots of master classes, conferences, and industry-wide ongoing training programs where we train and certify operators, supervisors, and specialists, which we also offer our customers to hire from the pool, so that they have complete knowledge base and skill set to run the operation in the right compliant mindset, rather than just getting things done. If they can see a barcode, they think it does the job. So there's lots of talk of AI and the synonym, the saying that data is the new oil. But again, just like crude oil, data also needs to be refined. It should have the attributes of quality data and should have integrity, so that if we train on that, the outcome is right. So the future of point of care, point of dispense is that we have a decision support system at point of manufacture, point of sale, point of dispense, and point of care. And we can prevent errors based on products, patient profiles, recalls, and drug-to-drug interaction also. So we're talking about right patient, right drug, right dose, right route at the right time. So case studies, we have mobile apps for different regions where there's patient engagement, last mile apps. We have digital leaflets built in, recall alert by the product, by the batch, by range of serials, master data management tool. And here is a case study where close to $500 million worth of public procured medicines were distributed to patients of hepatitis C. It was a very heavy or huge investment by the government, and they wanted to make sure that through track and trace, they can make sure that their money spent there's no corruption or there's no deviation of the stocks. So we were able to, through track and trace, make sure about that the drug package from the manufacturer, aggregated, and to the point of dispense. We are also able to link it up with the unique ID of the patient in the national identification system of our country. So that was something which was a bespoke local need. It has its own challenge. So bespoke and tailor and acting local, not only on the hardware, but also on the mobile apps, also on the solution and track and trace platform. So where I would close my session today on the future of track and trace begins at the line, and it improves and it becomes better if the basis is strong. So if you want to put together a high-rise building of bigger than Burj Khalifa in track and trace industry, the basis has to be very, very strong, and the pack should be correctly printed, code correctly verified, rejection correctly handled, carton correctly aggregated, and data events correctly reported. So if we can trust packaging line, people there, the supply chain can be trusted. Thank you for your time. So I can address the question on this week's in Pakistan on the 2nd June, what much anticipated revised notification of compliance on track and trace has been approved. It hasn't been published yet, but it's the same. It has a newer timeline. It has some clarification on previously confusion as soon as the publication, because they publish in batches. It has been reported as soon as it gets published. I think TraceHub would be the first place to post it on.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you very much. We started already by this. It was from 3 days. We announced it in TraceHub, and we onboard Pakistan as on our country tracker. So we start to track the track and trace in Pakistan. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for your time. It was very insightful. Thank you very much. We appreciate it, and we appreciate the case studies that you shared. Thank you very much. Okay, Justin, let's move.
One question from Mr. Haitham.
Mr. Haitham, yes. Yeah, Mr. Haitham, I think you can unmute yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Rizwan. Thank you very much. Actually, when you were narrating your story and the Pakistan experience, it came to my mind that story of that company in 2012, which has led to the accidents that happened in Lahore, National Institute of Cardiology. And that is not the issue, but the issue is the political debate and the problems that the media for a couple of years that were running. See, if you were present at that time, your system, nothing of all of that waste of time and lives would have never happened. I wish people, everyone, all companies become very serious about this issue, about track and trace, because it's a matter of life, it's a matter of reputation, it's a matter of time, it's a matter of many things. Thank you, Rizwan.
Thank you, Haitham. I would actually the passion that why we started our group, our startup, because we saw hundreds of people dying. And only after several months of the whole issue it started, it was one guy, one doctor's mindful and thoughtful thought that, hey, all of the patients that I'm giving them this medicine, they are dying. They were dying previously also. But why they are turning dark? Let's order a postmortem and let's do a toxicology test. And after several weeks of those tests, and then, so what I say, what I wanted to make a point is that it's just one person's mindful thought that can change the future. And this is for patient safety.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you, Mr. Buttar, for a very responsible, clear and objective presentation. And also the music was very, very head bobbing. Very good.
Last question, Mr. Rizwan. Fawad ask you a question. What should be the first practical step taken by the regulators and pharmaceutical manufacturers to accelerate the adoption of track and trace in Pakistan?
So the first practical step they have already taken. The next practical step is that publish that document, and most importantly, the guideline. So our regulator is a pharmaceutical regulator. They do not have IT or tech background. They do have people, but they're not tech savvy, as would say. So the best is to have a stakeholder approach, learn from the world, no need to reinvent the wheel, put the stakeholder on table, have a task force, do some pilot projects, and repeat the success stories rather than getting frustrated, doing 20 different things and then blaming each other. So we are not doing the first in the world. People have done it. It has been decades now. So let's learn from the best. And
Yes.
we are sharing all of that knowledge right here.
Yes. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Rizwan, for your time. It was really amazing and insightful session. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah. And post midnight, I'm awake just because the quality of content. It's not caffeine.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Rizwan. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. Much appreciate. Okay, let's Justin. We will move now for very important part. Is the customer voice. Once I have this discussion with Mr. Patrick, and I invite him for this meeting. I suggest this this title because for me, Mr. Patrick is like a real customer voice. He will give us an idea from customer perspective. Mr. Patrick is the independent. He's independent pharmaceutical and